It's difficult to convey the enormity and the level of danger of what is being done here in Tennessee right now. Now, unless you're living under a rock, you're aware that states throughout the country, red and blue alike, are being gerrymandered all to hell. And this started when Donald Trump called Texas Governor Greg Abbott to have him redraw the maps between census to eliminate 5 Democrat seats in the U.S. House of Representatives, because Trump knows that they are going to get eviscerated in the midterm elections, and he will most likely be impeached, potentially removed from office, and then the many crimes that we are watching on a daily basis from him and members of his family, they will be prosecuted. And to avoid accountability, red states throughout the country, without voters' consent, are redrawing their maps. It started in Texas, then California put out a referendum to voters to redraw their maps in response to Texas efforts, and voters voted yay. Virginia has done the same as California. Florida is now, without voters' consent, redrawing their maps. Louisiana is redrawing their maps directly in response to the Supreme Court's gutting of the Voting Rights Act last week. And here in Tennessee, what's being done is a bit different, and it definitely feels different. So we have 9 districts throughout the state, and only one of those districts is represented by a Democrat. It is the Memphis area, Shelby County, Tennessee, which is the southwest corner of Tennessee. And Memphis is 64% black. So this is the one seat in the state that represents black voters. And Tennessee state law prohibits what they are doing right now by redrawing these maps this close to an election. And because they would be breaking the law to do it, and they have a Republican supermajority, so, and they're the lawmakers, because they would be breaking the law to redraw the maps, they are now changing the law so that they can do what they want to do without breaking it. Imagine that. That is a level of power. We don't need to imagine it. It's happening right in front of us all. That is a level of power that no political party, no person, no organization or group of people should have. To find themselves in a position where what they want to do is breaking the law so they can simply change the law. They have the power to simply change it so as not to break it. And as they are both simultaneously, as the Republican supermajority in Tennessee is both simultaneously changing the law so they can redraw the maps, and then redrawing the maps to eliminate the one seat that represents black Tennesseans, and undoing decades of civil rights efforts to gain representation in a meaningful way for blacks here in Tennessee. I am watching these Republicans laugh in the faces of the constituents who have shown, some of them their own voters, who have shown up to the Capitol to express their opposition to what they are doing. I can't imagine voting ever again for an individual who, or a party full of individuals who would laugh in the face of the people that they are paid to represent. Even if those people, I'm a Tennessean that pays their salary. And even if I didn't vote for them, they are still being paid to represent me. And you're going to laugh in my fucking face? The Obama administration, its legacy in a big part will be the Affordable Care Act. Getting health care access for millions of Americans who were previously uninsured and could not get health care, or did not at that moment have it. And when the Republican Party tried to repeal the Affordable Care Act, you may remember that Arizona Senator John McCain came out and gave their plan a big thumbs down. And he was that deciding vote. And in a big part, that will be his legacy, protecting the Affordable Care Act and health care for millions of Americans. But the Republican Party and Donald Trump, with the passage of the big, beautiful bill last year, they gutted massive amounts of funding for health care, funding that supports the Affordable Care Act. It's like a repeal without a repeal. And I watched as Mike Johnson and the Republican Party in Washington applauded as they basically gutted healthcare access for millions of Americans, undoing that part of, as best they can, Obama's legacy. And these cuts in the big, beautiful bill, many of them do not take effect until December 2026, after the midterms, when most likely Democrats will be back in power over, have the majority in the House of Representatives. And so as the impact of these cuts takes effect, they'll be able to point the finger at the result of what they've done and say it was Democrats. It's Democrats that are causing this. That timing is very deliberate. So when we think about legacy, folks, I want you Republicans in the Tennessee State Legislature to know this, that this will be your legacy. Eliminating representation that has been hard fought for over decades by people here in Tennessee to ensure that our black neighbors had a voice. Your legacy will be taking that away. And it may not matter to you in this moment, but we will ensure that all of our grandchildren, yours and mine, that they know your names, because we are going to fucking eviscerate you in history. Your names will be known, and not for anything good.